My name's Steve Gregorian. I'm the president and CEO of the Detroit Economic Club. Please let me welcome you to the 25th annual Detroit Lions Kickoff event. And it gives me immense pleasure to not have to say these words. You're on mute. Turn on your video. Uh-oh, I think he's frozen. So yes, we're here together. 563 days since our last in-person DEC event, and man, oh man, does this feel great. We've all been through a lot these last 18 months. And tragically, just about everybody here, including me, has lost a loved one, a friend, or family member. And our Detroit Economic Club has even lost, unfortunately, some members. So I'd just like to take 10 seconds for a moment of silence as we all remember those near and dear to us who were lost. Thank you, and please be seated. On a happier note, it's 25 years of the DEC hosting the Detroit Lions Kickoff event. The first one was in 1997, and let me take you back to that event so I can age you all. It's August 1997. You were rushing to the theaters to see Men in Black. The number one song on your car radio, Mo Money, Mo Problems by Notorious B.I.G. And the top TV shows you were watching, Seinfeld, ER, and Friends. And at that very first August 97 Detroit Lions DEC kickoff event, we hosted Lions greats Barry Sanders and Herman Moore. Remember who our quarterback was that year, 1997? It was Scott Mitchell. And on defense were the likes of Robert Porcher and Luther Ellis. And the head coach was Bobby Ross. And that list goes on and on for 24 more years. And on your screens, from Charlie Sanders and Steve Mariucci to Calvin Johnson, Nate Burleson, Jason Hansen, Golden Tate, Reggie Bush, the DEC has been honored to host our beloved Detroit Lions. And over 25,000 Detroit Economic Club members and guests were there to enjoy it. And this year, we're so excited to welcome Coach Campbell, GM Brad Holmes, quarterback Jared Goff, and all of his teammates for our 25th year, and you'll hear from them shortly. So I want to take a moment to welcome and thank some people for making these last 25 years so special to the DEC. We're so pleased that Detroit Lions principal owner and vice and chair, Sheila Ford Hamp, and her husband Steve are with us today, along with Vice Chair Mrs. Ford, as well as other members of the Ford family. It's never lost on us what a privilege it is each and every year to host the Lions. So I want to thank the Ford family, Lions executives, coaches, and players for this incredible opportunity, and we look forward to another 25 years. Please join me in thanking the Ford family and the Detroit Lions. If you're a tweeter, we encourage you to tweet using @DebtEconomicClub. If you're a sponsor of the DEC, thank you a million times for your continued support. We're just getting started in our fall season at the Detroit Economic Club. Some of these meetings will be in person, some will be virtual via Zoom, so watch your email for those announcements. So I've just got one more question. Are you all ready for some football? Well, it's my pleasure to turn this party over to two familiar and friendly faces. I always say we're so lucky to have some of the very best sports broadcasters and announcers right here in the city of Detroit, and our moderators today are at the top of that list. You know them from Fox 2 and their terrific Lions coverage, and you know one of them is also the very, very popular voice of the Detroit Lions on 97.1 The Ticket. please welcome Dan Miller and Jennifer Hammond.
Steve. Good to see everybody.
How is everybody?
These days, it's great to see anybody, but it's great to see all of you. We're going to get these players up here very quickly, but let's just start right here, Hammer. It's been a lot of change. Change brings hope. Hope brings excitement, and you can feel it when you're out in Allen Park.
Yeah, it's been absolutely awesome. Ever since Dan Campbell arrived, he's been on the job about 6 months now. You've felt that energy. We've seen the press conferences, a lot of crazy things, but this guy is all about hard work. You can see his players and his staff feeding off of it, and it has been absolutely dynamite in Allen Park to cover this summer.
In just a little bit, Dan Campbell will be here along with Team President Rod Wood, General Manager Brad Holmes. We'll get to them coming up in just a couple of minutes, but right now, let's just do it. Let's bring up Lions defensive back Amani Oruwariye, running back Jamaal Williams, offensive lineman Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow, and quarterback Jared Goff. Let's go, fellas. Round of applause. Frank, you and I were just talking downstairs. It's just nice to feel something normal again. You guys have played in front of some fans in this preseason. Whole lot different than where we were a year ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think even now looking back at it, it's even more crazy. Just the excitement, the energy, and the natural adrenaline that fans bring is something that you can't really take for granted. So it's been nice, even in the preseason, to feel them.
I got to ask you, Jared, your first experience in front of the fans in Detroit, other than training camp, was when you guys were in Ford Field for the open practice. I saw you tossing balls. You were talking to some of the fans. How does it feel, and how have you been received from them here?
It feels great.
Microphone?
It feels great. It was really cool going out there and getting a chance to see all the fans, just be in front of them, and the passion, the energy, like Frank referred to, it gives us a little extra energy. It gives us, we remember why we played this game in the first place, to be in front of the fans, and that was a fun day as well as the preseason game.
Taylor, I was looking around over the roster. You're a young guy. All of a sudden, you've been here longer than anybody else on this football team. Does it feel like everything around you has changed very quickly?
Is this working? Okay. Allegedly, I'm a young guy. Allegedly. Yeah, there's been a lot of change, but change is a good thing. I mean, we've seen a ton of energy, a ton of plays being made at practice. And I've said all along, I hope I'm a Detroit Lion my whole life. But anybody we can bring in that can try to help us win, I'm all for it. So it's been really fun. It's fun getting to see new faces. It's fun getting to compete against new guys. So it's just been awesome. But yeah, I think I'm an old guy now.
Old head.
You
old
are.
Guy now.
You really are. You're the longest tenured veteran. This is, Amani, an amazing year for the secondary as you guys start under a new defense. There's a lot of energy there, but you were one of the players that played in all 16 games last season. What do you want to build on from that for this year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like last year we did some good things, a lot of things we wanted to do better, but I think just having Coach Glenn and Coach Pleasant come here from their respective places has just brought a totally different energy to our secondary. I feel like they just taught us so many little things we didn't know about playing defensive back, and it's just been great, man. We just want to be able to help the defense however we can.
So I got to ask in the audience, have you guys met Jamaal yet? Because I don't know when I interview Jamaal, do I just say go or do I ask a question? Because this guy has more energy than anybody you will ever see.
That's messed up.
Am I wrong?
You ain't gotta put me on the spot.
When we see you out in practice, we get B-roll back, and you guys you're always dancing. You're always having a good time. You just bring it every day, and it's a beautiful thing. It's great to watch.
How can I explain? I just love football. I love football, and I'm grateful for what I do. So I've been playing it since I was a little kid. So it just feels like I'm still a kid out there, And I'm just having fun with it. I like to dance, and really being on the field is really when that's like my peace zone. That's when I can really be into me, But it's for the team, at the same time. But before, when I'm dancing and getting myself to go, it's really just to get myself ready for my team so I can, exploit my aura, energy, or whatever you all want to call it, my zone, My zone. Let's call it zone.
I mean, I got to imagine, guys, when you look over and see him, it's kind of tough not to get a little bit hyped yourself.
I love it. I mean, blocking for a guy like this, so he has all this energy. Like, he's just fun to be around. And like he said, football's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy it. Is it our job? Yeah, but do we enjoy playing it? Of course. And when you have teammates like that, I mean, easy.
Last thing. Give it to me. What's this? I know you're an anime guy. That's got
My
something to
head?
do with anime?
Does anybody know what this is? You know, a couple. Put your hands up. Don't be embarrassed.
What is
Yeah,
it?
nerds. Yeah, team nerds. Yeah. It's basically from the show called Naruto. So, but the line in it pretty much mean like I'm a rogue ninja. You know what I mean? You left like you got banned out of your village. But I wear it. I could go back because I'm a notorious first swag Kazakage. The Kazakage mean I'm a president. Just to let you know.
That
Boy,
is just over my head.
And it's great to have you in this village, let me say that.
Y'all didn't understand what I said? I explained it. Kazakage mean president. So first swag Kazakage is first swag. There you go.
All right, so do we just call you
Four
Mr.
guys back
President?
there are all nodding. They know exactly
I'm
what you're
just
talking
making
about.
sure y'all understand when I say it and don't be confused when I say it. That's all.
Hey, Jared, I've actually got to kind of pick your brain about something. I've got a son who is a junior in college, and I text him a lot, and he doesn't respond. And I saw something that said you used to not respond to your mom.
Yeah, it's not uncommon.
So tell me, how do I break through in those text messages to my son?
I mean, ask him something very specific.
Didn't your mom send you something specific?
Yeah, and I think as he gets older, he'll get a little bit more, a little less, don't talk to me, Mom, and a little bit more excited to hear from you. And that's kind of how it went with me, And I think how it goes with most teenage boys is you want to get away from it, and maybe he's in college, maybe he's in high school and wants to hang out with his friends. But I don't have any advice for you other than let him grow out of it.
Yeah. What about the pictures that your mom used to send of the dog, the family dog?
That works, yeah. Send the dogs,
That got a response from you?
Yeah, send some little cousins, maybe some cool stuff, and yeah, that'll work.
I love it.
In our family text, the dogs generate more conversation than anything
There you
else.
go.
It's not even close.
There you go.
I got to tell you, one of the cool things about camp, Amani, has been that right where we sit as the media, we get to watch the defensive backs working with Coach Pleasant. And that relationship is really cool. And him as a teacher, really impressive. And I just wonder if you can talk about what he has brought to your position group.
The guy's nuts. I'm gonna just say straight up, he's a different cat. But yeah, I mean, Jared knows him. He just brings a different type of energy to football. He loves this game. He's from Flint, Michigan, so he's so passionate about being here with the Detroit Lions and just making us a better secondary. So we just embrace it every single day and learn from him and just try to ball out.
I've got to say that all of the assistant coaches have a ton of energy. Everything you see every day when they're working out there with you guys. From the offensive line standpoint, you guys know Hank. You've been with Hank. You've still got Hank. How important is that for a position that demands so much continuity as the offensive line?
Very. Not only him being a former player, not only him for my specifically is he's a former center. You can't even explain how important it is. And for him to continue, so we have the same terminology, we speak that same language, and now we're starting to kind of think the same. I think it's been huge for us up front, and especially me as the center as well.
I asked Frank about this a little bit earlier, Taylor, and that is, and I know you've heard it, just people looking at this offensive line on paper and what it could potentially be. And Frank's answer was basically, we don't want to listen to any of that. It's a one-day-at-a-time thing, and we understand the work that we have to put in to get there. But just your thoughts on this group, what they can ultimately be, and your excitement level.
Yeah, I mean, there's immense talent, youth, passion for the game on our offensive line. And like you said, that looks good on paper, but you have to go out there and play the game. And to go out there and play the game, you got to put the work in every single day. And we have 5 pieces going out there. There's no other position group that puts that many guys out there. So we have to put the work in together and individually, because you have to execute your individual assignment, and then you have to work, together well. If you have a different guard next to you, the combo blocks might feel a little different. So that's one beautiful thing about this game is you always got to put that work in, and it's not forgiving. You're going to go out there on Sunday and you got to compete against people for 65, 70 plays, and they don't care if you were a high draft pick or, you know, whatever accolades you had from the year before. It's every day, it's every Sunday, it's every practice.
I know we haven't seen a lot of game planning or scheming in the preseason. We see some stuff at camp, but as far as running the ball, it seems like there's obviously going to be a big emphasis on that. How exciting is that for you, Jamaal? Especially behind this line.
I was just making sure that question was for me. Was it for them? All right, cool. Oh, how can I explain this? I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to get y'all juice. I can't. Hey, bro, y'all gonna love it. Oh, y'all gonna wish we could just. Sorry, Goff. Nothing personal. You gonna wish we could run the ball every play because it's gonna be nuts out there every time. 4 yards, 5 yards. Because, you know, that this new rule, you can't taunt, you know what I mean? Be careful out there, guys, you know, no taunting. I already do this already, but when I do something good, the first thing I look to is my sideline or, you know, the lineman, because we all did that, you know what I mean? And it's just to make sure the people who, you know, linemen don't get most of the credit sometimes, you know? Y'all don't want to give it to them, but they are athletes, and they be out there pushing. You know, they got feelings too, you know what I mean?
Respect.
Yeah,
No doubt,
I love my
no
linemen.
doubt.
You know, those my brothers, I'll be out there chipping, you know, blocking with, you know, when we get a successful block, you know, when they blitzing, we get them all. Hey, that's a good feeling, you know, just the team chemistry and just being out there and then watching Goff sling that thing. We get a first down, touchdown preferably, you know, touchdowns.
Well, and I would say this, and I think, Jared, you'd agree. Jared, there's no better friend for a quarterback than a running game, is there?
That's right. I was going to say when he was saying that, I'll hand it off all day long if it's scoring points. You know, it makes no difference to me. But, yeah, no doubt, when we can run the ball like we hope to this year, opens up the play-action game, opens up the drop-back passing game, and ultimately opens up every part of our offense, screen, keepers, everything, and takes a little pressure off the guys up front as well. So running the ball is kind of what you want to establish, especially early on in the season, and we hope to do that.
I got to imagine, too, when you guys are coming out of the huddle and you know you're controlling somebody on the ground, there's no better feeling. Your chest is thicker, your biceps are swelling, you're feeling good, aren't you? When you're controlling that football game on the ground, that's as good as it gets.
I mean, if you ask any D lineman, what do they want to do? They want to rush the passer. That's what they want to do. Playing the run, they might play the run on the way to the quarterback. That's what they want to do. But if you can control the game and make them play the run and just give them body blows the whole day, man, it's the best. It's the best. It's the best.
Give me a sense what the anticipation is. Amani, we'll start with you, but I'd love for you all to weigh in what Ford Field will be like for the three of you that have played here on the 12th when you guys have a full house again, fans in the building, the excitement of the new regime and the new team getting underway on a Sunday.
I can't imagine. I mean, it's gonna be rocking. I feel like, I mean, even if the preseason is just a glimpse of what we're gonna see on week one, it's gonna be amazing. I know we're gonna be hyped, confident, and prepared, ready to go. But we're gonna be so excited to see the fans out there after being a year without seeing them. So it's gonna be good.
And I imagine, too, that Jared, you talked to a lot of fans. I know I've spoken to you about that before. You understand how hungry they are. You understand just how happy they are you're here and how happy they want to see all you guys get going.
Yeah, I think just the natural energy that you feel with the regime switch and like you were referring to earlier, so many new players as well, so much new energy. Jamaal, myself, you know, so many guys on defense, so many guys up front on offense. It's a lot of change everywhere, and there's that new energy, that new feel, and you kind of got a glimpse of it at practice, kind of feel a glimpse of it in that first preseason game, but I think September 12th we'll really feel it and get to feel the energy of the city, and it'll be my first time. I'm excited for it.
And it's super cool, too, I think, that you guys go second week to Green Bay and play on Monday night. I mean, that's something that really builds excitement for, I think, a lot of guys.
Look at you. You trying to start friction, huh? Don't worry.
Barely.
I ain't worried about that right now.
Just go with the Coach Campbell. That game doesn't exist right now. That game's not on
definitely.
anybody's radar.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, guys, we appreciate it. It is great to have all of you here. We cannot wait to see you guys get going and get this season started. It's been exciting to this point, and it's only going to get more exciting. So Jared Goff, Amani Oruwariye, Jamaal Williams, Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, how about a round of applause for all of them? Guys, thank you very much. As they make their way off the stage, we are going to welcome in our next group. Rod Wood will join us. Brad Holmes will join us. Dan Campbell will join us as they make their way to the stage. We're going to throw up the hype video, get you guys a little more ready for the 2021 season.
Thank you.
And I told you so. And I told you so. And I told you so. Run, run, look what they've done. You gotta get away before the morning sun. Last chance to take your stand. You gotta get away with the gun in your hand.
All right, let's welcome them in. Rod Wood, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, welcome.
Thank you.
Rod, let's start all the way down there because this was your vision along with Sheila Ford Hamp in bringing these guys in. And you've had the chance to watch them go through an off season. You've had the chance to watch them go through training camp. Just give me your take on what you've seen and how these guys work together.
Of course, they're sitting right next to me, so it's been far better than I think even our wildest imaginations in terms of how everything's worked. For two guys who until early January had never met, I don't even know if you'd ever talked, right? To put them together and have it work out as well as it has, the staff that they both have assembled, the players that we brought to the team, the energy, you saw some of it with the guys that are on stage. It's been fantastic and having a lot of fun, which is also important because we work long, hard hours together, and there's a lot of laughter and teasing and all those other things that I'll let Dan talk about, but we're having a lot of fun. It's been great.
To Rod's point, Brad, I know that you guys hadn't met, but how quickly were you aware that you guys really had the same mindset, the connection? Obviously, they knew it in talking to you and making the hires, but when you got in a room with Dan and got together, when did you just know that this was going to be right?
Yeah, I'd say our first phone conversation before our hiring was made official. It's just so many different topics, that has to entail with, building a good football team. And, I think the first topic was probably in player development. And, Dan and I were on the same page. And, when something just clicks and it just feels right and it's authentic and it's natural. And, not sure how long the conversation went, but, we were very like-minded in so many different areas. And then on, it's just been, it's been an awesome, working with Dan.
Well, so much of that player development, Dan, is that staff that you assembled. And that is one thing that around the National Football League you've gotten accolades for. And I just wonder, as you've watched them work, watched them in camp, watched them, teach these guys what it is to be a Lion and what it is to be a pro football player, your take on being able to work with your staff.
Yeah, well, before I get to that, we're up here up top and we're watching our players out here, and they've all got polos and jeans on. And somehow the memo was we're supposed to wear suits or sports coat. And so now I'm wondering if this was a joke from Rod, because I'm not a suit guy, but I'm in a suit. So
I think we figured that out.
All right, so
Having fun.
yeah, that's good. Payback. So
that staff you got together.
I digress. Listen, the staff is amazing. These are guys that I've known for a number of years, and look, they're some of them I have not worked with directly, but I knew I had previous relationships. I'd played against Deuce. I always saw him on the road when we were going. When you go to work players out, different things of that nature. And it was just like when you put together your coaching list, these guys would tell you you'll be lucky to get half of them because just the hiring cycle, or they can't get out from where they were, and it really just the stars aligned. And unfortunately for some of them, but fortunately for us in Detroit Lions, some of these things happen at the same time. The fact that Deuce and Phipp can get out of Philly, they're able to get out. Lynn gets let go with the Chargers, and AG, I really got Sean's blessing to bring AG with us because that was the only thing keeping me from doing that. And so it just really worked out perfect. But these guys, we have the right chemistry, and they're outstanding.
I want to stick with that just for a second here. A lot of the players and former players that I've spoken to talk a lot about playing for guys that played the game. And without overusing it and overdoing it and saying, when I played, we did it this way, how is it that the communication one-on-one with guys when you're teaching is amplified or improved because of that experience?
Look, I do think it helps because they know that you've been in their shoes and you've had to do some of the exact things that you're asking them to do. So I think it does benefit the player, and there's an instant respect, I guess you will, because there's some validity to it. And now, you still got to coach, and you still got to know what you're talking about, but I do think it gets their attention a little sooner.
Brad, you guys are different, though. There's a difference between the two of you. I'm just reading it, a little more laid back and reserved, a little more willing to let the intensity bubble to the surface. When we were down there on family day for the practice, you and I were interviewing, and Coach was there. Coach was talking about dousing a campfire with gasoline and pacing back and forth, and you and I were kind of watching him. There's a difference, but sometimes those differences work well together.
Well, I say I don't always enjoy having to follow up Dan after he does. I always go back to that introductory pressure. I'm just glad I went first, But I think we have a great balance. We balance each other out well. We have a great chemistry. Again, it's natural. It's nothing that's forced or anything like that. And we just, obviously it's credit, the very top with Sheila and the Ford family and Rod and everybody involved in the hiring process. The fact, and going through a COVID period where a lot of things that had to be virtual, their ability to actually bring Dan and I together. I was having a talk with Rod the other day about, how did you know that, and I mean, literally just talking about that. And he just said, hey, those are the two that we wanted, but but it worked out. But couldn't be happier working for a great organization, working with Dan.
Well, then let's do it. How did you know?
Well, truthfully, you never know until you know. But I think a lot of it was due to the process that we followed. We spent a lot of time, and I said this publicly a couple of times, developing a list of the very specific criteria that we were looking for the Detroit Lions. And a lot of it was around culture and leadership and working together as a team and not building turfs and trying to take responsibilities away from other people. And as we went through the interview process, we interviewed a lot of amazing candidates who are probably going to be great coaches or great general managers for other teams, but they weren't right for us. And these were the two guys that stood out that were the right for us. And if you start off with that criteria, you hopefully end up with the people that fit the criteria, and then you end up with this kind of relationship that we have. So I think the process worked, and I think so far it's even better than what we expected.
Absolutely, and I do like that you used the word culture and brought that up because I know a lot of teams search for that. It seems elusive. It's a word people throw around a lot. When you come in as a coach and you know that there's a need for a little bit of a culture shift, if you will, how do you attack that without saying, I'm going to come in and I'm going to change the culture?
Yeah, well, I think it ultimately comes down to people. I mean, you got to find the right people that believe in what you believe in and stand for what you stand for. And I don't care what you're in or what you do. That's, if you want to change something, you want to change it fast, bring in people that are like-minded. And so that's one. And I think for us, I said this upstairs, I've been part of organizations as a player and a coach who certainly teamwork, no ego, you're selfless, all these things, but yet they're not doing it at the top. And every player in the locker room knows that. And we swore up and down that was not going to be us, because that's the first sign of, that there's you got issues. And so we wanted to make this collaborative and teamwork, and we're making these decisions together. And those players know that whatever happens here was a collective decision by Brad and myself. And we thought that was important.
And it also goes back to hiring the right people. You didn't come here and change. You're you. Players can tell if you're BSing them. It's genuine what you guys are trying to do here, because you can't come and just say, okay, I'm going to be this guy because that's what this organization needs. Brad, when you look at it, it's who you are, and that's how you bring it together.
Yeah, you got to be authentic. You got to be yourself. And, you can't try to be somebody else because, going through the hiring process, or going through the interview process, I'm going to let, Sheila or Rod know this is what I think they might want to. No, this is who I am, and I don't know how long you can go by trying to be somebody else. And so you gotta be 100% authentic, who you are and what you believe in, and it's been working for us so far.
All right, let's get to this final game tomorrow night. There's a lot of guys still fighting for jobs on this roster. I asked you, I think just a couple days ago at practice, what percentage of this team is set and how many open spots are there? You answered it the other day.
Yeah, well, I think I threw out 80%. I mean, I don't know. There's probably 80% of the roster we have a pretty good idea about. That's probably a fair answer,
One thing you and I talked about yesterday, and Brad, I'll throw this over to you. This is a huge night tomorrow night for a lot of players. This is, historically in this league, guys who come into that fourth game and popped and made a football team. And that's the ultimate end game here, is getting a job in the National Football League, and what these guys have fought like heck to do all through the offseason. This is a big, big night for a lot of these players.
Yeah, it's going to be a big evaluation night for sure. And I'd say the same as even last week versus Pittsburgh is that was big because it's competition all over the board and decisions have to be made, and that's a good thing, is that now we're down to the point where we're gonna have to make a lot of tough decisions, but it's gonna be fun tomorrow night. I know those guys are gonna be competing, but tough decisions are gonna have to be made, but we got a good process in place, and hope this will be a great game.
I asked all the players, or each of the players, this, and I'm interested to know how each of you feel. Just September 12th, come game day, when the fans are back full in Ford Field, what it's going to be like and what the anticipation is for that. I know you've got a lot to do to get to that day, but just how exciting it is looking forward to that.
Extremely excited about it. Us year one with fans back, and hearing how passionate these fans are, before even coming to Detroit, and then seeing it in the practices and seeing it at the preseason games of scrimmage, just that taste of it has been very, very exciting. But I know that first game, definitely gonna have goosebumps, but can't wait to see it for sure.
Do you hear a lot from the fans when you're out in the street, out and about? I know you probably don't get out much because you're working so much, Dan, but what's the reaction you've found from this city so far?
It's been outstanding. I mean, it's the support and, the amount of people that come up to me, whether I'm at Starbucks or Shell getting gas, whatever it is. They've been unbelievable, and they've been very supportive, and hey, good luck, coach, go give them hell, and I appreciate that, I do. And just to piggyback on what Brad was saying, man, I cannot wait until September 12th. Like, I would be crawling out of my skin. And look, I came from New Orleans, and the Superdome carries, it's pretty impactful and it's loud, and Ford Field can be every bit of that. Not every stadium, not every place can be that way, but I know this place can be that and then some. And just Buffalo alone, that taste, when we're going for 2-point conversion in a fourth and we can't hear on offense, we'll work on when we should be loud and all that, but it was awesome. It was unbelievable, and our fans were, you guys were kicking it, and our players felt it, and that's energy, that's juice, and we appreciate it.
I got one nuts and bolts question for Rod, but I want to hit you with this first, because you know Detroit, you played here, you know the history, and you know what it means to be the head coach here. And I just wonder, as you've driven down the road at night by yourself, laid your head on the pillow, Have you allowed yourself to think what it would mean to be that head coach that finally gives these fans what they've dreamed about?
Well, look, if you haven't thought about that, then you're not where you're supposed to be. And yeah, I have. And because you got to have an end game, you got to have a vision of where you want to go and work backwards from there. And so, yes, I have. I belong here. I know I belong here. This city embodies what I'm about, and which is grit. And that's what our team's going to be.
Love it. Rod, you guys did make an announcement today about masks, that you will encourage them. We've talked a lot about fans coming back into Ford Field. I know this is fluid. You have a lot on your plate right now dealing with local officials, NFL officials, health officials. Just where are we on everything and your optimism moving forward?
Well, we're still optimistic that we're going to have full stadiums all season. Obviously, I can't predict the future. We were just on an NFL call, and Dr. Sills, the chief medical officer, quoted Yogi Berra that predictions are very difficult, particularly about the future. So I'm not going to try to outdo that. We hope that we can keep this under control. We're not going to get ahead of the state or local officials on anything. So if right now we're at mask recommended and encouraged, we'll do that. If we get mandates beyond that, we'll follow that as well. But right now we're going to hopefully welcome 60,000 plus people here on September 12th and keep the stadium loud, safe, and beat the 49ers.
Bring it. You guys have heard it from the players, and you've heard it from these guys, how excited they are, and we're excited to see all of you coming up for that first game as well. For Rod Wood, for Brad Holmes, for Dan Campbell, thank you guys for being a part of this afternoon. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Great seeing everybody.
We've got some giveaways before we bring Steve back up here to help us end the show. And we certainly appreciate everybody coming out today. It's just great to see you. We couldn't do anything that we wanted to do last year, but to be able to come out and talk some Lions football this year is an awesome thing. So to all of our guests, thank you, and to all of you, thank you. We've got first a Taylor Decker signed football. And we are going to pull the tickets, and I pray that the print on them isn't small.
Oh, I've got glasses.
Oh, you got glasses?
Oh, she's got more.
Oh, we got more. Okay, there we go.
Shake them in.
All right, there
Mix
you
it
go.
up.
You got glasses. Go ahead and pick.
This is how long we've been doing this. We need glasses now. All right, 854-877.
Taylor Decker signed football.
854-877.
Just grab your tickets.
I hope that's not my ticket. All right, we're going to grab
Anybody?
another one.
You guys all have them out?
Oh, here it comes.
You got one?
We got it.
Hey, congratulations, Taylor Decker. Do we get the Decker football?
Oh, she's got it.
Oh, right there. Okay,
All right,
how about a
here's
Frank Ragnow football? Congrats.
I'm going to show off. I'm not even going to wear my glasses. 854-904. 854-904.
All right, we got a winner.
Frank Ragnow.
I'm gonna try one. Let's see if I still got it.
See if you can still see.
Probably not well. Here we go. I'll just hold it out here. 854-908. 854-908. Hey, come on up. DeAndre Swift football. What do we got next? We got TJ Hawkinson. A little further. 854-892. Those 9s and 8s are really close. 854-892.
Anybody?
854-892. Nobody?
All right, we'll get another.
Go ahead.
Eight 855-076. 855-076. Woohoo.
We got one? Congratulations.
All right, go Goff.
This last one?
Yep.
All right, Jared Goff, last one. Here we go. 855-063. 855-063. All right, we got a winner right there. Awesome. Congratulations. There's the Jared Goff football. Thank you for having us. We're going to hand it back over to Steve. We cannot wait to see you guys coming up tomorrow night, and we cannot wait to see you guys coming up for the season opener.
And you can watch the game on Fox, too. We got a pregame, we got a postgame, we got it all for you. Thank you.
Dan Miller, Jennifer Hammond, you guys are amazing. Another outstanding job. Thanks for your time and talents as always.
Thank you.
Yes. And once again, thank you to the Ford family, Detroit Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a blast sitting out there watching us have an in-person event. Please enjoy some food and beverage as you reconnect with members on the Adams Street Concourse, which is open until 6:30. Thanks for being with us today, and go Lions!